What up, though? What's good, my Spady Spades? Welcome. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, subscribe for me. Hit the like button and hit the bell so you can get all the content. It's free. It costs you nothing. It's cheaper than a penny with a hole in it. Let's get at it. Hey, today's topic is about Wendy Williams. Her situation that's occurring right now. And understand, just like Wendy Williams, we all could go through something like this. See, understand, my Spady Spades in life. Sooner or later, a storm will come. I say, did you hear me? Sooner or later, a storm will come. It's not always sunny days. In life, it's not always peaches and cream. We have our ups and downs. We have our good. But sometimes them turbulence will come. And sometimes it can get rough. It can get really rough. And the situation with Wendy Williams is she's found herself in a situation where she's being detained against her own will. However, it's, in her own words, it's like a luxury. It's luxury detainment. However, it's still detained. She's detained against her own will. Now, how she got there, apparently, allegedly, is something to do with Wells Fargo, her bank. Now, understand this. Wells Fargo, I remember when I was a baby, 18. Wells Fargo was one of the first banks that I was going to open an account with. And I remember, whatever the bare minimum, I ain't had no money. I'm from the ghetto, okay? From the ghetto, I ain't had no money. Whatever the bare minimum, if the bare money was $5, I probably had $5. If it was $20, $50, whatever the bare minimum to open up an account with Wells Fargo, that's what I had. Like I said, I was a baby. However, I went in there to open up an account, and I probably did. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. All I know, as a baby, as 18 years old, it wasn't a good experience for me. My Spady Spades. Either I opened up that account and immediately closed it, or I walked out, I took my little $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $45, $50, and I got out. Now, this is a mega bank. That bank is beyond a rich bank, okay? So they wasn't worried about my little broke, ghetto 18-year-old behind taking the bare minimum to start a savings account. But what I'm trying to say is, as a baby, 18, something kind of rubbed me the wrong way about Wells Fargo, and I really ain't even looked that way since. I can't remember what happened, honestly. I'm not saying now they just a terrible banking company, but I'm just talking about my experience. Now, here, Wendy, and again, I can give a true assessment on this because I'm not partial towards Wells Fargo or Wendy Williams. I'm not a fan of Wendy Williams. However, I can appreciate her body of work. I can appreciate her in her field climbing the ladder to be one of the best. I do know that, but I'm not a fan. And I'm not saying that just to be mean-spirited. I'm not a fan of really no daytime talk show host or what have you. I'm not a fan of any nighttime. That's just really not my thing. I'm a sports fanatic. So that's where my attention be directed towards. The last time I was into somebody that was a host of a show, a talk show, it was Arsenio Hall, and I was a kid. So again, I can speak on this. I'm not a fan of Wendy Williams. I'm not a fan of Wells Fargo. I'm not saying that I dislike Wells Fargo. I'm not saying that I dislike Wendy Williams. I'm just trying to say Spade, the Love Doc, can give a true assessment because I'm not partial to either side. Now let's get at it. Allegedly, I guess Wells Fargo has detained or they got the courts involved. And with the courts getting involved, I guess a judge ruled that Wendy Williams was incapacitated and she needed a guardianship. And with that guardianship, they locked her down against her own will. And locking her down against her own will, however, it's not federal prison, it's not the county jail, it's not state prison. Wendy Williams even said it's like a luxury facility. So I'm thinking it's maybe because I'm assuming she's rich, she's famous. So I'm assuming it may be a mental ward, a luxury mental ward where they holding her and she's not allowed to have visitors. And she can't, I think she's limited what calls she can make, but she's not allowed to have her laptop, smartphones, things of that nature. But I think she can make a call or two, but no visitors. And this is against her own will, and it's been for some time, and she's really going through, and I can imagine her being famous, rich, and you can't do nothing, and especially the field she was in, the career she was in, where she's used to having her laptop, she's used to knowing what's going on in the world, and now she's totally disconnected with the world. So I know that's extremely tough for her. Now, again, her diagnosis was she was incapacitated. So I guess they was trying to say she was incapable of, taking care of herself. Now, understand this, my spady spades. Excuse me, far as my understanding, she lost the love of her life, which was her husband. Okay. When people get married, they're planning on being together for the rest of their life. So she lost the love of her life. She got a divorce. She lost her husband. They divorced. Then right around the same time, someone very close to her, it could have been her auntie or mother, or so someone very close to her passed. And then on top of that, she lost her job, the daytime talk show. So that right there, you lose a loved one that's really, really close to you. You get a divorce from someone you thought you was going to be with for the rest of your life, and then you lose your career. That's enough to send someone into deep depression. And however, from that, they said she was excessive. She was excessive with her alcohol. So I'm not sure if while she was drinking heavy due to her depression, I'm not sure if she was spending excessively and not remembering, because I don't understand why Wells Fargo would be the root why she's in this facility. And the only thing I could come up with is maybe she would be spending, or people around her in her circle is spending her money. And then when she would come to and realize that money is not in her account, then I guess she's taking up the Wells Fargo. Maybe this happened a number of times where Wells Fargo then got the courts involved, and the courts involved ruled that she should be in this facility. Now let's play. I don't play devil's advocate. I don't use devils. I say angel's advocate. Let's play angel's advocate. Let's say someone who worked for Wells Fargo, the powers that be, someone is very powerful, but maybe they really taking a liking to Wendy Williams. However, they giving her tough love. What if they really love Wendy Williams? However, due to the financial reasons, due to the financial discrepancies, and due to her condition, because she was drinking excessively, I'm hoping someone said, hey, I really like her. I think she's a good person. And this is what we're going to do, because there's no one in her life. She don't have anyone in her life that could really mentor her through all that she's going through. She don't have anyone in her life. It appears she didn't have anyone in her life at that time that she really honored and really respected and listened to. It didn't appear that she had someone in her life that could say enough is enough. Let's get control of this drinking. Let's get control of your spending. Let's get control of, of your attitude. It didn't appear as though Wendy Williams had that one person in her life that could give her constructive criticism and that Wendy Williams would adhere to. So let's play angel's advocate that someone up in Wells Fargo loved Wendy Williams and said to help save her life, or to help her get back to where she was that superstar status talk show host. This is what we're going to do. Yes, she's going to be mad at us, but we're going to give her some tough love. She's not going to like it. Let's play angel's advocate and hope that that's what occurred. However, she's been in this facility. She says she haven't seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist in some time. Excuse me, spades. So first thing first, they need to reevaluate her, because she did look like she's recovering. She was looking good. She was looking healthy. So they really need to reevaluate her. And then they need to put a really strict, structured plan for her progression. It need to be strict and structured plan for her progression, so she can go ahead and start getting ready to come back to the world. However, Wendy, I want you to look at it as if God stepped in. I want you to look at it as God stepped in, because if you didn't have no one in your circle, people taking advantage of you, people spending your money, you're not aware of what's going on with your account, let's look at it as Wells Fargo. Playing angel's advocate. God used Wells Fargo to take you to court to sit you down to so you can get back healthy. And understand, Miss Wendy Williams, if you can't get a friend in your life that you respect enough to really sit there where they can give you constructive criticism, go ahead, get back, build that relationship with God, reestablish the relationship with God. I'm hoping that you have a full recovery. I'm hoping that you get back to superstar status of being a talk show host. I'm hoping God puts you back on one of the major networks, whether it's ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I'm hoping you get back to the top of the career path that that you was on. However, I would love for you to rebuild your relationship with God. Because if a woman or a man, if you won't listen to a woman or a man, someone you claim you love, at least listen to God, our Most High, our Heavenly Father. Because if you listen to Him, He won't allow you to stray too far off the straight and narrow. All right, my Spady Spades, this is hey, this is my take on Wendy Williams. My Spady Spades, I wish y'all love and happiness and continue to love.